Hello, and welcome back to Explain the Charts. Today, April 13th, 2025, we're taking a close look at Litecoin, symbol CUSD. We'll delve into recent news and events affecting Litecoin, then transition to a detailed analysis of its price charts. First, let's cover what's been happening in the Litecoin world. Recent news indicates positive sentiment with the SEC's acknowledgement of Canary Capital's spot Litecoin ETF application. This has sparked some bullishness, as the potential for an ETF could lead to wider adoption. However, some analysts remain cautious, pointing to the inherent volatility of the crypto market. There's also news about increased whale activity, though Litecoin's price has recently been crashing into a bear market. Despite this, the Economic Times reports that Litecoin's price is up 3.4% today. Let's switch over to the charts to see what they're telling us. We're starting with the daily chart. Looking at the daily chart, we can see a recent downturn, followed by a slight recovery. Notice the large red candle on April 6, 2025, which shows a large drop in price, followed by some attempts to recover, but the price is still relatively low now. This is an important thing to keep in mind while looking at this chart. Now, let's dive into the hourly chart for a closer look at recent price action. On the hourly chart, we can see much more detailed price action, especially surrounding the crash of April 12th and 13th. We can see multiple attempts to recover since the crash, which is great, but a longer uptrend is needed before we see true bullishness. Right now, it may be a good time to buy at a dip to try to capitalize on any attempts to push the price up to key resistance levels. Finally, let's analyze the 15-minute chart to see what the very near term looks like. On the 15-minute chart, we see short bursts of upwards movement and attempts to recover from the crash on the 12th. This could indicate that there are lots of small moves to be made in this range. Capitalizing on swing trading is a viable, if not risky, strategy. Longer term, more consolidation and more consistently bullish price action is needed to show a true recovery from the crash. Okay, let's recap. Key price levels to watch are the recent highs around $80, which acts as near-term resistance. If the price breaks above this level, it could signal a stronger bullish trend. Support can be found around $70 and then much lower, around $60, and if that breaks, even lower, so watching those levels will be key. Based on the current chart patterns and the news around the ETF application, a potential short-term bullish scenario could see Litecoin retesting $85 in the next few weeks, but this would rely on increased trading volume and sustained positive sentiment. This is only somewhat likely, 50/50ths. Conversely, if the price fails to hold above $70, we could see a further decline towards $60, especially if negative news or market events arise. This is also somewhat likely, 50/50ths. Keep an eye on any further ETF news, as that will likely have big impact on the price. That's all for today's Litecoin analysis on Explain the Charts. Happy trading!